Hi. My name is Ajoke. I am here today with my friend. We're going to be having a conversation. And on my left today is Linda. Linda, how are you doing? Welcome onto the show.
Thank you. I'm fine.
What were you doing before you got here? You look amazing.
Straight from the office.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You don't look it. You really look amazing. With the pink, the glasses, with the lip gloss. Is it a coincidence or it was all planned?
Nah, I mean, this is how I do, but pure coincidence, really.
You look amazing anyways.
Thank you so much.
So let's get right into it.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit about yourself.
I mean, what do you want to know? My name is Linda Obi. I'm the first of 4 kids.
Wow.
Born, bred, buttered in Lagos. So I like to identify as a Lagos chick first.
Naso.
State of origin Delta.
Okay.
Schooled in Lagos. Like I said, born, bred, buttered in Lagos. And basically all my life has been in Lagos. All the hustle, everything in it has been Lagos. Nothing much really. Went to school in Lagos, uni Ife, did a bit in Lagos. And then outside of the work I do around Africa, I'm majorly based in Lagos.
Nice. So what do you do at the moment?
I am CEO of Afrihealth.
Okay, so growing up, different people have different dreams. I want to be a doctor. I want to be an engineer. The main thing as a child. What was your childhood dreams? What did you dream of being?
If I'm going to be very honest on the show, I've just dreamt of being a super wealthy woman. That's what it is.
Wow.
Whatever part, right part to left or no, I just want to land at the wealth.
That's amazing. What part of the bed did you sleep? Was it on the right or the left?
When I was thinking this,
yes,
the middle.
Oh wow,
the middle. Yes.
Nice. So you wanted to be? What did you want to be?
Really, I wanted to be a lot of things. You know how these things change now as you grow. Your aspiration starts to mutate. I don't think I had a clear cut what I wanted to do because it was pretty much planned. You know how your parents take charge of your career and your education. They choose your course. They choose what they want you to be. I want you to see if it's not a doctor, it's not an accountant, it's not a banker, it's not a pilot. What else do you want to be? So I wanted to really be a banker, maybe because my dad was an accountant. My mom just had a kick. She just, so I feel like that wanting to be a banker stemmed out of the fact that she chose my course predominantly. She wanted me to do financial accounting, and then I did financial studies. I did accounting, came out of school, did a bit in banking, fulfilled her heart desires, and then I took a left turn to do my own thing. But I was just balancing, what my parents wanted, what I wanted. I did a bit of for them, right? And actually followed through in the path they wanted me to pretty much follow through. But at the end of the day, see, you do what works for you. And I did what worked for me, right? And here we are today.
That's amazing. So you are that perfect picture of what you wanted to be. Your mom wanted, or rather, your mom wanted you to be an accountant, just like your dad, as the first child.
Yes, as the first child, you know that kind of thing.
So you became, you actually went to school to study accounting.
I did do.
And you ended up doing it. What would you say is that thing that you learned in school? What was the real life, like what you studied in school versus the real life when you became an accountant eventually?
Does anybody really? So I know some people go to school and then they are fortunate enough to, bask in the field that they studied in school, they get opportunities. But I did, as much as I did financial accounting or financial studies and then did accounting, when I joined the bank, I was not an accountant. I was not an accountant. So I went from customer service to being a teller, down to being a marketer, then back to customer service. It was not really, but I was a banker, right? Yeah. And I think that's kind of eased. How do I put it now? Mommy's dreams, right? I fed into that dream for her, and it's not been bad. I feel like the bank, you know how banks are, they're pretty much structured as opposed to startups that you have now. Startups are very easy breezy, unstructured, do it at your pace, but do it, right? But the bank was very structured. You get to work at a certain time.
You have to start from it.
Yes, and you find that that helped me, because I clocked in at 7:30. I knew what my mandates were. I had a balance sheet at some point, very young in my life, very, very young, where I was carrying a balance sheet of about, I think, 50 million at that time. Yes, it was, it was how would I put it? It was that kind of part. But I think I did my thing and I excelled in it.
Nice. That's really amazing. So, what are you doing now? As in, when did you decide to pursue your current career? Or after banking, right? What did you venture into? What other left on? What other people did you take?
I had a lot of left-ons. Yes, I had a lot of left-ons. Even after banking, there was a left-on. After I had my baby, you know how you never really prepare for... Is it motherhood? I'll put it out. Is it motherhood? Whether we like it or not, right? Once you marry and you start having kids, it slows you down a bit, right? So there are so many left-ons. Around that, first kid, second kid, third kid, fourth kid. Wow. So I was, pretty much pivoting from this to this, that to that, pretty much trying my hands on this, that. I bore easily, right? My sister knows me, I bore easily. When she sees that I'm no longer talking about something, she knows, this one is bothering me, on to the next. Do you understand? Yes. So there are a lot of left-ons for me, really.
Yeah. Oh, amazing. So you have 3 boys?
Yes.
So how did you manage to I know that at the point you left banking and you started doing your thing.
Yeah.
So how did you cope being a mother and actually pursuing entrepreneurship? Why not do 8 to 5?
Wow. Well, I would... How do I answer this question, really? It was not easy. It was not easy. If anybody tells, and I'm talking to, aspiring mommies and techies out there, you know how they say you can't have it all. You really, if I'm going to be very honest, you can't have it both ways. You have to find a balance, and that balance has to be what works for you. What works for you, Ajoke, might not work for me. And when I'm asked this question, how do you balance entrepreneurship and motherhood? I just say, I do what works for me, right? I have a support system that understands me, that understands and just supports whatever it is I'm trying to do, right? So, balancing it first would be grace. There was God. There was a lot of God factor. There was that support system, and just sheer resilience on my part as well. Just not settling for anything, but actually wanting to find purpose in life. I think that pretty much got me where I am today.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
So are there any mistakes you made along the line? What exactly are those things that you learn, and would you like to share some?
I made a lot of mistakes. A ton of mistakes, right? Can I remember a lot of them? Maybe not, but of the mistakes I've made, what am I looking to share today? Let me leave it and just say, in general terms, no condition is permanent. Really. No condition is permanent. Never, ever look down on anybody, really, because you never really know, right? There's our plan and there's God's plan.
I agree.
Do you understand? So that is one of the biggest learnings for me. Another thing would be the place of mentorship. A lot of young ladies kind of downplay what a mentor who a mentor is, and how a mentor can actually shape you into being that person you want to be. I've had a lot of mentors. Interestingly, my mentors, most of them were all men. And, you know how they say men has come and all of that. I have had life learnings predominantly coming from men, right? Mentorship predominantly coming from men. Hand-holding predominantly coming from men. So there's a place of mentorship. 2 things I would like to state is never underestimate the place of mentorship. It's there for a reason. And then no condition is permanent. Never look down on anybody, no matter what.
That's good. Thank you so much
You're
for sharing.
welcome. You're welcome.
So, tell me, how many times have you pivoted or changed career?
Lost count.
I understand you have over 21 years of work experience, right? And 4 years in banking, or your mommy's dream accountant job, right?
4 years living my mother's dreams.
4 years living mommy's dream. And when you started pursuing your purpose of that thing you want, can you tell us a bit about what you did? What business venture did you actually try during your pivot?
Outside of banking, I did try my hands on a lot of things, some very menial jobs. I mean, I'm saying this for the first time here. And some that look like a career.
Okay.
Right, so entrepreneurship saw me doing, I did a bit of styling, I did a bit of cooking.
Wow, I can see where the
If
style
I
is coming
told
from.
you that I cooked, like I cooked for people for a fee, will you believe?
Wow.
Oh, I did that. We need to.
It's an entrepreneur journey.
It's not easy. It's not easy. At some point, I had a beauty salon, So I've tried my hands on quite a lot of things, and I've not really had it. It's not been a bed of roses. Let's say that it's not been a bed of roses. But I'm grateful for the learnings along the way, because all of those shaped me into who I am today.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I look at my team and I see that delinquents, do I look at the delinquents, or I see that, like, you guys will be fine, Sha, because I've done this. It's almost like saying I've been there, done that, won the t-shirt. What I want to, I never see. You understand? That's just a few, but I've had it. It's not been a bed of roses. Let's leave it at that in general terms.
Okay, awesome. I know there's a point at which you, after the entrepreneur, did you have to switch back to 8 to 5, or you just continued?
When the entrepreneurship is not entrepreneurial,
So you gave up at some point.
you have to. You have to go back and come back rearmed to take on another battle. Entrepreneurship is not for the light-hearted. I keep telling people, when I go to Instagram, I see CEO of this, I see LinkedIn, I see 60-year-old, 17-year-old, 50-year-old CEO that I'm like, CEO of what really? What have you really done? So entrepreneurship is not a bed of roses. It's not a walk in the park. You need to have the stomach for it, right? And to answer your question, yes, you need to chop liver.
Yeah.
So I do it a bit, and then when maybe I've burnt all my cash, I go back to get capital. And how do I get capital? I go back to work, and I do a bit. I might not end up liking the job. Very, very different or contrast from what you find where you see Gen Zs are like, oh no, it has to be the perfect job. It has So it was survival for the fittest. When I don't say it don't read or what's it we need to go back to the drawing board and strategize, right? Okay, what do I need to do to put monies together, to put resources together, to come back again and relaunch, right? And I think that's what entrepreneurship is about. Even when you are successful, you find out that you keep launching and relaunching your product because it has to appear, constantly fresh in the eyes of people.
Yeah.
So I think that's it really.
Yeah, thank you. So
You're welcome.
Something interesting. I know you're into blockchain, crypto, and all that. Like, I'm trying to understand the whole, of course, technology, the crypto. How did you come about that? What influences that decision? Why crypto, really?
So,
Because you did that for a lot.
Let me answer this question. I've always been a curious kid. And you can see that across my three boys. They are curious in their different ways. Even the girl decided to show us that this one can be a curious cat. So I think I've always been a curious kid, and I've always had a knack for technology. Right? Maybe not really worked like I'm doing right now from my early days, but I've always had a knack for technology, as on the one hand. And then I happened on blockchain. It's not as if I didn't plan it.
Just to plan
Nothing I have done was planned.
Okay.
And I feel like I also understand the piece of planning. Don't get me wrong. You must plan. They say if you fail to plan, plan to fail. But there is this, I think I saw it was a quote by somebody, I don't know who, said, when we plan, God laughs. That's the truth, because you can plan. He has his own, how would I put it now? Is it destiny? They call it. He has his own way. He has what he wants you to do, right? Now, I happened on blockchain when I was working my role in in agriculture. And I want to correct the notion. Everybody keeps saying, Linda, as some people are calling me the crypto queen, the crypto.
Yes.
So I think blockchain is just, blockchain is not crypto, and crypto is not blockchain. Right? Blockchain is the technology that powers cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency is just a vertical of blockchain. In blockchain, you have crypto, you have smart contracts, you have tokenomics, name it, right? You have a lot of verticals in blockchain. So what I did was, and how it happened on blockchain was when I was, working in agriculture, a technology company that was solving problems in the agricultural sector or space or landscape. And as business leader, you are charged with looking for efficient ways to, first off, the P&L for your division. I was business leader for the food division. The entire P&L rested on me. So if you are making a loss, Linda's account for that. If you're making P&L with profit and loss, yes, your balance sheet.
Yeah.
If you're making, it's just revenue operations really. And then I started to troubleshoot our operations, as it were. Was it scalable? Was it sustainable? All of those things. And one thing that kept, coming was the fact that there are a lot of human elements on the way. We're dealing with farmers, smallholder farmers, who are not very literate to begin with. And then, there are contracts that were supposed to be executed, right? You are getting money from, say, central bank, and then you are going to stand as that median to disburse to smallholder farmers, and then you have that whole contract between yourself and them, and then you and the fund managers, right? One thing I felt was it was maybe not a blocker, but it slowed things down. I wanted to get things out fast. I wanted to activate contracts fast. I wanted repercussions fast when you don't execute your contract. So I started looking for efficient ways to do things, and I stumbled on smart contracts. And smart contracts is just the flip of traditional contract, or a flip of traditional contracts, where traditional contracts are paper and humans and a court of law. Traditional smart contracts was lines of codes, agreements written in codes, and where there's a default on either party, that consequence is triggered. So if I and Ajoke enter into a contract as written into a
smart contract,
so whether or not I see you, if you don't execute on the things you say you're going to execute on, right, it triggers an outcome. Right, that is just what is okay. Let me break it down. A smart contract, in simplistic terms, would be you and the vending machine. You know the vending machine? You are in loot, or you are in a hospital by 2 a.m. There is nobody to attend to you. It's just yourself and a vending machine. You have your coin or your money. You put it into that vending machine. You have executed the contract. The contract is between you and the vending machine. All the vending machine needs to do to give you a bottle of Coke or a candy or whatever is when you give that money. Right? When you put in the money into the vending machine, it triggers, it gives you whatever it is, whether a Coke or whether you want to buy. So that is what a smart contract is. I think that was my first brush with blockchain. And then I started looking at blockchain in its entirety, right? If a technology as this can power smart contracts, what other verticals does it power? And then I started looking into cryptocurrency and other things. Crypto was just, something that, I took a knack for. I like money. I've told me I'm a money person.
You're drip.
I like money. So I was stuck on crypto. Had a lot of, education verticals. I had a edtech at some point. It transitioned into a DAO. We were training people from everywhere. East Africa at some point. We started from West Africa, did Ghana, did, some African countries in the West, and then, morphed into East Africa. And the rest is history, as they say. So that's it, really.
Amazing. So I want to ask this question, right? So you've had several stages, and recently she was named the top 100 women
of the future.
Yeah. So I'd like to ask, right? Do you think that all these things were about luck, or was it inevitable, basically? Or what do you think? What would you say?
I wouldn't say so. Inevitability would have been maybe what I should rest on, but I wouldn't be totally honest if I say that.
Okay.
It depends on what you call luck or what you perceive to be luck. Some people are born with silver spoons, right? And that in itself is born into luck. I mean, you have wealthy parents and they're pretty much, calling the shots for you. However, there's also a luck that comes from doing. Constantly doing. Maybe that was, if you say luck, yeah. So I was constantly doing. There is also a luck that comes from being unique, right? So that also helped, right? There is a luck that comes from being aware. Do you understand? For instance, I can explain blockchain in a way that I don't think a lot of people in Africa can. Right? I can explain blockchain to a 2-year-old, and they pretty much would talk to you about blockchain from a point of knowing, almost from a place of authority. So yeah, that uniqueness too also helped propel me from point 1 to point 10 in a short time.
That's amazing. If I'm hearing something, you're talking about you doing, so the luck doesn't just come like that. You have to do, right?
Constant state of motion.
Yes,
constant
it's a
state of motion.
consistent something.
Yeah, consistency is key.
You just find yourself, it just happens to you.
So it happens because you're doing. So once you're doing, it's like you're taking a journey.
Yeah.
Right? You're going to reach different destinations now. And I think that's what this is really.
Yeah, that's amazing. So I would like to know also, right? You talked about purpose, right? What do you think? What would you say is your purpose? And how have you considered? Did you hear this voice saying, "Hi, this is what you should do," or it was just, "Oh, okay, you just knew this was what it is," or the curiosity of changing or checking and trying stuff out, brought you where you are today?
I think it was that curiosity of testing things and getting bored very quickly. I mean, whatever I find myself doing, it has to be impactful. It has to make a lot of sense. It has to enable a lot of people. And yeah, if you call that luck, no wahala.
Yeah, great. Yeah. Okay, so on the final note, right? I'd like you to just
final note.
Yes.
Nice.
You're currently the CEO. Yes, you just became the CEO of Afrihealth like some months back, right? So I want us to tell us about what you do at Afrihealth. What is Afrihealth about? I know you just launched an app as well.
Yeah.
What's it about?
So I think I would tie that into purpose. I told you, I've been, I like to identify. In fact, not even I like to identify. I am a lifelong learner. I learn this thing and then I move on to this and I move on to that. And for the longest, Afrihealth is one place that I have not been bored since I joined. Why? Because we are solving real life issues. You can actually see that you are making a difference. Tangible difference. What we do in Afrihealth is access, and we're connecting the underserved and just providing access to doctors on the go, access to drugs on the go, access to ambulance services on the go. And what is beautiful is that with the app, you can actually walk into a pharmacy and authenticate a drug. Unlike the old days where you need to scratch something and then send it via USSD code to something and then you don't even know because I don't want to let me not tag a certain few, but our brothers have adjusted that and you don't even know which is original. Yeah. But there's one thing that blockchain does and there's one thing that technology does, which is traceability. What we have done with our app. And the name of the app is Rigor Plus. By the way, if you've not downloaded it, please download it and see what it's about. They say the taste of the pudding is in the eating, right? So don't let me hype up the product. Try the product and then we can talk about it. The beautiful thing is that we offer traceability like never before, right? You walk into a cosmetic. And I'm going to use cosmetics because we are ladies. I'm very particular about my skin. They say the skin is the largest organ of the body, right? Yeah. And I want to buy a particular popular cream or skin product. I can actually, if that product is on our server, I can actually, and you can authenticate that product. You know where it was manufactured, you know how it moved, you know that it moved from Aba to Lagos, from Lagos, and is now shelved. It was warehouse here, we moved here and there. And I think, who doesn't want to know these things? When I was in Agric, one of the biggest challenges we've had, and it always came up, when we, go to speak about the impact we're making, what's traceability? How do you even know your food? Right?
Yeah.
We have things that we categorize now as frozen food. How long have they been in chillers? You will find that a lot of these products have been in chillers for years and years and years, and they are unsanitary. So innovations like this will continue to checkmate these things.
That's great. That's great. Well done. Yeah. I like to say, what is that one thing, if you have time to, if you have an opportunity to go back, what's that one thing you would like to change? Or would you like, what's that one thing you want to do differently? See, we rewind backward. That one thing you would like to do differently, if you have to do it again. From your career path, what's that one thing you would like to do differently?
You want me to be very honest?
Yes, please.
Nothing. You know why? Because
you make those
all
mistakes
of those
again.
things, yes, propelled me here. So nothing.
Awesome.
Nothing really.
Awesome. So nothing.
Nothing.
All right. It's been an amazing time chatting with you. What would you like to say to someone that is trying to find his way in life, right, and aspiring to be one of the 100 top future
Women of the future.
women in the future, right? What would you like to say to them?
I would
What would you
say,
like to advise them?
trust your process.
Yeah.
A lot of people say that, but they don't understand the impact. Right? I've seen young ladies, like you, really younger ladies, come in and say, oh, I want to be like you. It takes a lot. Right? Like I said, if you go on my LinkedIn bio, what you find is 15 years. I don't put 21 years because the other time I spent it doing, I was working. But what kind of, they were not jobs that I can account for today. So trust the process. There's a process to everything, right? Trust the process. Consistently do.
Yeah.
Consistently do. There are days when I don't feel like showing up, but I show up anyway. Just show up, right? Just show up and keep trusting. Keep doing, keep trusting, keep believing. It'll work out for you. It will. There's no other way.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's been an amazing session with Linda. She said, keep doing and trust the process. I think it's been a fantastic time. Thank you so much. We've come to the end of today's show. I'll see you again next time on The Left On.
Bye-bye.
Bye.